What is going on, Washington fans? I don't know what to say. This is supposed to be the game where we just dominated home. This was supposed to be a statement game for us. I'm Josh Taylor at Josh Taylor FB on Twitter or X, wherever you want to call it. Welcome to the Bleacher Report stream. This is the live reaction after the Bears and Commanders game. I don't know where to start, honestly. This is extremely disappointing. I'm going to show y'all a couple things, a couple screenshots I got off of Twitter or X, like I said, whatever you want to call it, to share with y'all, go through some stats real quick, and just give my reaction on what we watched. Welcome to the stream. Drop some comments in the chat, what you think, your thoughts. Obviously, there's a lot to talk about. In all honesty, something needs to happen. Changes need to be made. This is absolutely embarrassing. 40-20, and it looked even worse at home in prime time. Why does this keep happening to us? And I see the same thing every single game, every single letdown that's like this. You know, I got the black shirt on. I thought I was going to have some good luck. We had the black jerseys. Like, what's going on, guys? Appreciate y'all flooding out the chat. I'll try to grab a couple of these. I see horrible. I'm so done with this franchise. Jack Del Rio is the problem. This team is a disgrace. Genesis Poppy says disgusting. It was disgusting, Genesis Poppy. I agree with you. Jay Mercer 4 says Ron has to be gone tomorrow, right? I'm sorry, Ron and Del Rio both have to be gone. I see the same thing, and I can't remember what Luke, that lukewarm response Ron Rivera gave at halftime. Like, oh, the player said they're gonna play for themselves now. What does that even mean? Like, I keep seeing the same thing from Ron Rivera and Jack Del Rio every single week. A slow start, a sloppy start. I don't see any passion. It just seems like the players don't believe in what they're doing. And in my honest opinion, that's what's wrong right now. The players do not believe in what they're doing, and the results are saying that they're right. I see blow it up. I see fire Ron, fire Del Rio. A lot of someone said, I saw this a couple times, that it's not funny, but it is funny. Someone said sell the team again. It's not. That's not the problem. I promise you guys. I appreciate y'all blowing up the chat. It's going crazy right now. We have over 200 people. There's over like 200 chats going on right now. So I'll grab some throughout the stream. But like I said, I'm Josh Taylor. Follow me on X if you don't already, at Josh Taylor FB. But I got some screenshots for y'all. We're going to be hanging out for about 20-30 minutes on the stream. And then I'll be back in the morning at 10 a.m. Eastern time to go over some winners and losers of this game. So be sure to tune into that as well. But let's start with this. And this is a hot one. Obviously has been a rough start to Emmanuel Forbes' career. My guy, JP Finley, love JP. Very social, great guy. I love meeting up with him every time. Very knowledgeable. JP said things with Emmanuel Forbes are getting out of control. At some point, you can't just keep letting him learn. And he got benched right there at the fourth quarter. They brought in Danny Johnson, and he went to the bench. What do y'all think about that? Was it the right call? Do you think they should have done what they did last week against A.J. Brown and just left him in there and let him learn on the fly? But I'm going to go ahead and drop this poll for y'all. So when you see this poll, go ahead and hit your answer. What was the biggest problem in tonight's game? Was it Emmanuel Forbes, Jack Del Rio, Ron Rivera, or the slow starts that we can't get over? I'm sick and tired of being a second-half team, but I'm also sick and tired of this coaching. And Emmanuel Forbes hasn't been doing what we expected him to do. So let's see. Washington _Young said Forbes needs to learn at this point. I do agree, but when it's that ugly and he's getting beat that bad, when do you pull him out of the game? So he's not missing tackles. He's not missing these blown coverages to where you can actually get back in the game. That's what happened. I hate to say it. Once he came off the field, and I'm not mad at Kendall Fuller. I know he had 2 big plays thrown on him. Great coverage. He went for in that last one where DJ Moore scored. He was going for the ball. I'm not mad at him. You're down that bad, like, just go for the ball. I don't care. What's another touchdown, honestly? So with Forbes, how long do you let him just learn? What do you have to do with Forbes? I saw missed tackling. I saw poor effort in tackling, and he's getting out physicaled by guys like A.J. Brown and DJ Moore. And we knew it was going to happen, but that's not good. If you take a guy in that first round, and he's going to get compared to Gonzalez all the time, even though Gonzalez is out for the year, it just happened last week. But still, Gonzalez has looked really good to start the season. He had no problem in coverage. He had no problem stopping tackles. And I hate to say it, guys, but it's just not looking good for Forbes. So what do? Do you bench him? Like, even another one I saw, Darius Slate said, Forbes, keep your head up. I got benched early in my career too and came back. So let's see. People saying bench Forbes. He's too small. Says Luma 23. Let's see. Not keep Forbes on the bench for the rest of the season. Says YTN Dorrell 123. Obviously, you can't do that. You can't keep him on the bench for the whole season. I think you really have to make him just learn on the fly. I think he does need to get bigger, obviously. I think that's where it starts, his size. He has to be able to get in there as a tackler, but he's just, you see it in the routes, especially in the breaking point of the routes, which is when, like, say if it's a post route or whatever, the break, that's the breaking point in the route. And that's where you're seeing these wide receivers getting their hands on them, which you're allowed to do. You're allowed to big body them. You need to get close to the DB so you can get that separation on their breaking point, and they're doing it with ease. It's not even just the double moves or the stop and go that A.J. Brown had on them. It's the breaking point where these wide receivers are being physical on them. You can't have that happen. That's such a key point in the route, and he's just getting bullied, and it's really ugly. So I'll keep it on, talking about Forbes. This is my tweet. I said, little tweet, post, whatever you want to call it. But I did this once. Y'all can follow me on Twitter at X. We can have more interactions at Josh Taylor FB. But honest question, this is honest. This isn't no shot. When you start talking about this draft class, you had Emmanuel Forbes, who got benched. He was your first round draft pick. You've got Ricky Stromberg, who's a backup. Chris Rodriguez, who would be the third string running back. He's sick right now. Braden Daniels doesn't play. He's always inactive, and he looked really bad in the preseason. KJ Henry hasn't played. He's usually in very far depth or inactive. Andre Jones was the one guy who actually saw some flash out of. And then Quan Martin, Ron Rivera comes out and says this week, yeah, he just really isn't playing on defense because of the depth we have at safety. We didn't add anybody. We didn't add anybody in the secondary. We didn't add any safeties this offseason except Quan Martin in the second round. And he said, you know what? We pretty much just have him as a depth piece. I'm sorry, but there's no second round draft pick that you should come out and say admittedly that he's a second round a draft pick, that he's your depth guy. There's no reason that should ever come out of Ron Rivera's mouth. He should say something like, yeah, we're going to rotate Quan in. Quan gets pass breakups in college. Quan gets interceptions in college. We are going to play him on defense because Derek Force is getting burnt. Forbes is boomer bust. He either has St. Juice is boomer bust. He either has a good play or he gives up something. Percy Butler has looked atrocious this season. And honestly, Cam Curl hasn't looked that good. He had a couple good moments, but there's been a lot of games this season where he's given up big catches and he's out of position to tackle. There's no safety help behind Forbes and Fuller most of the time, especially in zone. The one touchdown, the one of many touchdowns tonight, I think it was the first one or the second one in the corner of the end zone where Fuller, it was zone, he gave up his player. He kind of like played off a little bit. Butler bites down on Mooney, who's in the slot, who Barton already had covered, barely. Barton is terrible, by the way. He bites on him, doesn't get his high safety zone like he's supposed to, and it's an easy touchdown. The safety play this year has not been good. This is supposed to be one of the strongest and most deepest areas we have, with Reeves back there too. Great special teams guy. He got banged up tonight. I don't know what's going on with these safeties, guys. I like Cam Curl a lot. But this year, he hasn't been as good as he has been in the past. I still think he's good. I still think he deserves to get paid. But I don't know what's going on with Forrest, and Butler has not looked good at all. So I have no idea why Quan Martin's not getting a chance. He played free safety. He played nickel. He played outside corner at Illinois, and he was actually really good at it. If you got him in the second round, if you're going to leave Forbes on the field that long, you might as well throw Quan out there too to let him learn. Throw him to the Wolves, right, guys? I mean, he's not doing anything for you sitting on the bench. Like, am I wrong? If I see Butler getting beat over and over again, who was a, fifth round draft pick, by the way, why are you not throwing Quan Martin out there? Like, I don't get it. He at least had an interception. Percy Butler's dropped like 2 or 3. Forrest has dropped like 2 or 3. Cam Curl's dropped like 2 or 3. So, the secondary is bad, guys. And I don't get it. The first 2 picks of this draft this year were DBs because you wanted to get more turnovers. You wanted this lockdown secondary and a very passing league. And our secondary is atrocious every single week. It is getting beat every single week. And it's not even just AJ Brown and DJ Moore. It's Marvin Mims. So something's got to give when you start critiquing this this draft class. I mean, right now I'm critiquing not even just the players. I'm not mad at the players, maybe Forbes a little bit, but I'm mad at the coaching staff. Why did you draft these guys if you're not going to play them? Why are you not giving them a chance? Like, it can't be any worse. Why are half of these guys inactive? What was your plan? Let's see. Elias 1K. Welcome back, Elias. I've seen you on here a couple times. Josh Harris needs to make that decision immediately. Talking about, maybe we need to get some different defensive coordinator. Maybe we need a new head coach. YTN Doriel 123 said, "Nah, Marvin Mims is crazy." It was crazy. Like, bro, why is Marvin Mims beating these DBs that we had? Y'all blowing the chat up. The chat's entertaining right now. Definitely shout out to y'all. Let's see. Del Rio needs to sign that Fox News contract. I'm telling you guys, there's no excuse. A 40 burger on us, y'all. How many straight weeks is that for 30 plus points? That's bad. Like, Del Rio absolutely needs to be held accountable. MCorn11 says our secondary is awful. Dustin Goodwin, hey man, I feel for you, man. He said I'm angry and depressed. I said it before the game, man. This should be a statement game for us. There is no reason why we should lose this game. No reason we should lose this game. Let's see what else. This has been a hot topic. You want to talk about coaching? Barstool said RIP Riverboat Ron. And I'm very passionate about this play call, by the way. It says, back in the day, he was known as Riverboat Ron. And she says, okay, Grandma, let's get you to bed. What happened to Riverboat Ron the last few weeks? Not going for 2 before overtime. And then today, in the fourth quarter, it actually had another one that I'll show you. When it's fourth down, you know what? I'll go ahead and show it. It's fourth down. Fourth down decision bot says it was Chicago 27, Washington 11. Washington has 4th and 2 at the Chicago 13 with just 3 minutes left in the third quarter. Recommendation, strong, go for it. Actual play was a 32-yard field goal by Sly. We're down 16. And it's a 2-possession game. That's 2 possessions. That's 2 touchdowns, 2-point conversions. I don't care. 2 possession. You kick a field goal, you're still down 2 possessions. I will never understand that. And I know, but Josh, you have to get the 2-point conversions. But you still have to score 2 touchdowns regardless. You still have to score 2 touchdowns regardless. In my opinion, at that point in the game, like I said, the third quarter is almost over. You might as well go for it. The team was rolling. Sam Howell was in rhythm finally. Things were looking good for your offense, and your defense was somewhat having success, and you're keeping them off the field at least. Like, at least go for it. We were rolling down the field, and they completely went away from it. Ron says, go ahead, kick the field goal. Let's stay down 2 possessions going into the fourth quarter, knowing how this defense has looked the entire game. You have to be aggressive. Other teams are aggressive, and I respect it. We aren't. We just flat out aren't. Chris Merrill 21 says D-line is overrated, bro. I hate to say it. How much time did Justin Fields have today with backup linemen? Their center went down mid-game. I couldn't even tell. I could not tell that their center went out today. Tevin Jenkins just got promoted up to start today. Other than that, they're down like 2 or 3 linemen. And like I said, their center went out today, and you cannot tell. There was no pass rush. He had all the time in the world. Why did we only rush for 95% of the plays? Where's the imagination? Says Ejavel. Because honestly, you shouldn't have to rush more than 4 when they're all first-round draft picks. You have one guy who actually was supposed to be like your generational talent guy who didn't look bad tonight, Chase Young. Sometimes he does, do his own little thing out there. But John Allen had a couple moments, nothing really. Deron Payne had that fumble that was punched out. Of course, we can't, recover it. And then Montez Sweat had a couple plays. But other than that, The pass rush is not there. Our secondary is already bad. So you want to pull Jamin Davis. Cody Barton can't rush the quarterback, by the way. Or you want to pull another corner. You want to pull another safety to blitz. And they're more than likely not going to get to the quarterback because they're not that good at pass rushing. So you want to take somebody out the secondary who already can't cover a wide receiver 1, 2, or 3, or a tight end, or a running back going on a wheel route. You want to take them out the secondary. You want to rush the passer once again. In my opinion, we can't do that because our secondary is not good. You should be able to get to the quarterback with one of your first-round draft picks. Chris says, my finger points directly at Del Rio. I agree. 100%. MCorn11 says the only good secondary play we've had in the last 25 years is Sean Taylor. I mean, Angelo Hall had his good moments. Norman was good for like a year, and then he sucked after that. Let's see what else we got in here. D-line's been bad. My firstborn son, 7, could do a better job of blocking their O-line, says Dustin Goodwin. Hey. D-line is bottom half in the league. Let that soak in, says Jaeger at its BR. I mean, dude, it's bad. I don't get it. Why are the Commanders doing this to McLaurin? In that one key drive near the end, he wasn't really in the game where they went down and scored the touchdown, then went for 2. He wasn't in the game. I don't know. Hudson and Martin need to be playing some more snaps, says John Stewart, 000. I agree. Like, Khaleke Hudson cannot be any worse than Cody Barton. Cody Barton, like, tune into my winners and losers for tomorrow. We're going to have a great discussion. Like I said, 10 o'clock tomorrow morning. Let me get some more polls for y'all real quick. Let me check out. Geez, there's been a lot of people. Okay. Who was the biggest problem tonight? 42% said Jack Del Rio. 27% says Ron Rivera. 24% says slow starts. And then only 7% for Emmanuel Forbes. So not a lot of Emmanuel Forbes hate. All right. This is a loaded one because this is the offense and defense. Overall performance grade by the team. Obviously, there's no A. So I went straight B, C, D, or F. If you give this team an A, you have Ashburn syndrome, as JP and them call it. What is your overall performance grade of this team? Let's see what else I got for y'all. And then I'm going to look at some, I think that was the last tweet I had. So let me pull up some stats. Because I like the fact that I love DJ Moore, and I think he's a really good wide receiver, but the fact that he looked like Jerry Rice tonight, absolutely inexcusable. But Sam Howell, you can say Sam Howell's not the problem. If you go in this chat, or if you go on social media, whatever, if you're in one of those weird Facebook groups that I can't stand, and you say, oh yeah, Sam Howell's the problem, we need Caleb Williams, whatever, and you watch this game, I'm telling you guys, Sam Howell is not the problem. Sam Howell has a great pass. Yes, he takes some unnecessary sacks, but look at the situation he's in most of the game. He's usually down when we're playing, which is not good. We're usually down, and he's trying to make something happen. And the offensive line just sucks. And Sam Howell, 37 for 51. Once again, 51. Every single week, I'm like betting the over on his passing attempts. It's usually 30, 31, 30. I think the most has been is 33. Today, it was like 33 and a half, 51 passing attempts for Sam Howell because we're always down. Still had 388 yards, his first 300-yard game, by the way. Like, shout out to Sam. He's not a problem. Grand Polo says Howell is doing fine. O-line sucks. He just needs help. JR Jafari 23 says Sam's not the problem at all. Sorry, it's hard to read these. It's going quick. There's a lot of people. Terry deserves better. First one in 346 days. Let that sink in, said Joseph Burkett. First win in 346 days. This was like their Super Bowl, and we let them have it. It's embarrassing. All right, let's see. Sam Howell, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, and 5 sacks. Still way too much. Guys, I did not know this until literally just now. Brian Robinson had 6 carries for 10 yards. I don't know what to say about that. One, because we are down a lot, but he had, only 6 carries. That's bad. He was projected to have 16. 6 is just ugly. I don't know. I don't know what to say about that. Logan Thomas, 11 targets, 9 catches, 77 yards, 1 touchdown. Still had a 1 big drop on that right sideline where he had the mismatch on Tyreek Stevenson, rookie corner, by the way. Sam dropped a great ball to him, and he dropped it. Curtis Samuel, 7 targets, 6 catches, 65 yards, and a touchdown. I've said this many times. Curtis Samuel's underrated? Is he like flashy and like cute out there? No, but Curtis Samuel gets the job done more times than not. Terry McLaurin, only 5 targets, 4 catches. Logan Thomas had more catches than Terry. He almost had double catches and Terry had targets. So that's something you got to go back and look at. Why was Terry not looked at more? He was targeted early and often against the Eagles and then kind of got away from him in the second half. What was going on? Brian Robinson had more receiving yards than he did rushing yards on 4 targets, 4 catches. And Jahan Dotson, 5 targets, 3 catches, 30 yards. Just overall, I'm not like mad at the receiving game. I'm mad at how we force it so much. We can't set it up. We cannot put Sam Howell in a position to really run the offense because it's 3rd and long or we're down 3 possessions. It's not the same as, we can run it on 1st down. We can mix it up. We can do some RPO. We can do some play action, guys. We can get creative. No, it's guys, we have to score on this drive. We have to get the ball down the field. We have to just throw it 51 times a game. Jahan needs more targets. Terry McLaurin needs more targets. I'm not saying Logan Thomas was targeted too much. Whoever can catch the ball and make plays, that's great. But at the same time, y'all, I'm telling you guys, Just Aspect says B-Rob, Forbes, and all these young guys need to wake the hell up. This is getting out of hand. I agree with you. This is getting out of hand when we need them most. They're gone and not there to help. We don't need to bench them, but work them to get better. And that's what I'm saying, guys. I feel like, and it's not Eric Bieniemy, but it's just, I'm telling you guys, when we're down so much, you have to abandon your play calling. You don't expect to be down 3 possessions at home to the Bears. So everything you've set up, those first 30, 40 plays that you have lined up, your game plan, every offensive coordinator, I want to say it's on like Wednesday or Thursday, they start building out their plays. There's 10 plays that you start every game with, and you do not get away from those plays. I don't care what it is, unless it's like 3rd and 20 or something, then you might switch it up. But you stick with those plays. But when you're down this much, seems like every single week, you have to switch things up. You can't run the plays that you want to. De'Ami Brown does need less targets. It seems like the last few games he's had a big play like waiting for him, and he drops it, or he just doesn't play the ball well, which is surprising because Sam Howell and De'Ami Brown broke many records, by the way, at North Carolina. But let's go over to this ugliness here. Justin Fields having a field day, literally, no pun intended. 15 for 29. You're like, all right, he must not have been that good. He was pretty inconsistent accuracy-wise. No, 282 yards, 4 touchdowns, no interceptions, and only 3 sacks. Not bad. Khalil Herbert, 10 carries of 76 yards. Justin Fields, one of his best rushing games of the season so far, 11 carries for 57 yards. 178 yards on the ground in a game where they were just scoring at will with DJ Moore, who had an absolutely crazy, 10 targets, 8 catches, 230 yards, and 3 touchdowns. He averaged 28, almost 30 yards a catch. Almost 30 yards a catch and 3 touchdowns. But don't worry, guys. Our first 2 draft picks this season were both DBs that were supposed to get turnovers, supposed to get pass breakups, supposed to, be lockdown guys. One of them was on the bench, and one of them just flat out didn't play tonight. It's bad. Those numbers are flat out embarrassing. Let's check the polls and see what we got cooking here. Also, overall team grades, 73% said F. 20% said D, 2% said C, somehow 4% for B. I'd say D. I say the only thing saving it is Sam Howell, and I'm going to ask y'all that as the last poll real quick. What grade would you give Sam Howell's performance? Because I think for what he had to work with, I'm giving Sam a B. The interception was bad, but once again, he showed last week, he can make plays with his feet. He can extend plays, whether it's 3rd down or the pressure's there. He has to get out, avoid a sack, something he did at North Carolina. So far, he's done a good job in the league with it. And then he's made some big boy throws. There at the end, was it like 3rd and 4th quarter both? When he gets in a rhythm, he gets going. Now, it's usually a flag that stops the momentum, or Logan Thomas drops a catch, or something stupid happens. Or like the pass interference that wasn't called again on Terry. Just stuff like that gets in the way and kind of just shuts it down. But it's not Sam. Sam blocks it out. He moves on. He's good for the next play. But for some reason, like something stupid that we always do, or the refs, somehow get in the way and just cut out all momentum. But honestly, Sam Howell, like I'm telling you guys, there's one thing I can say honestly about this game is that Sam Howell is not the problem. I still have a lot of faith in Sam. I'm excited to see where he grows throughout the season. You can see what he does good and you can see what he does bad. And the bad is fixable. The good is hard to find in other rookie quarterbacks, though. Bryce Young's not doing it right now. CJ Stroud is. Kenny Pickett really isn't. Kenny Pickett, I think it doesn't have the same throw as Sam Howell. I think Sam's way better than Kenny Pickett. I would take Sam over Kenny Pickett any day. Ricky says, thoughts on Chase? I thought Chase was really the only guy on the defensive line that played up to his expectation tonight. There's still a couple times where he loses the contain on the outside, whether it's a run or Fields can get on that outside. As an edge defender, yes, you can rush upfield, you can get to the quarterback, but you still cannot lose that contain. And it's something that all of the linemen do, honestly. But as an edge rusher, you have to be able to keep contain on the running game, especially with the mobile quarterback. But overall, I think Chase had a good game. I think he was all over the place when we need him to be. Still want more plays, obviously. I want those sacks to get there. I want those strip sacks. That's a luxury, though. It's hard to get those. But I do agree with just some dude. Stop with the B-Rob bad talk. Howell will be fine. I think B-Rob's great. It's just I'm mad at our defense that they put the offense in this kind of position where we're down so much, where we can't run the ball. We have to get away from it. It's something that's happened all season. And honestly, that's probably why the Bears took the ball to start the game, because they said, look, if we can drive down the field, if we can score, we can get them out of their game plan. And they started scoring early and often, and they did it. They saw the Broncos do it. They saw the Eagles do it. So why not? Teams are going to want to get the ball first because they see how bad we are in the first half, and then they're going to go up big, and we're not going to be able to do what we want to on offense. Who do I think is winning the contract race, Chase or Sweat? That's a tough one. I honestly think you could pay both, but it's tricky. I still think you could pay both. I believe, let's see, Redskins 89-25. You know what's really funny? My username for the longest time was Redskins 89, so that's kind of like a flashback. I believe Young is too heavy on his feet. He needs to be more explosive. I don't disagree with you on that. I think he's getting there, though. Elias 1K said ever since Cam cut his dreads, he ain't been hitting nothing no more. Honestly, you're not wrong. Hova_man says, we lost to the freaking Bears. I'm doing the mad emoji on that one. And guys, like I'm telling you, 230 yards to DJ Brown. I mean, to DJ Moore. And then AJ Brown the week before that, absolute cook for us. Like guys, I'm at a loss for words. This is probably the worst defensive showing. That's hard to say because there's been some really bad defenses by this team. This has been the worst defensive showing I've ever seen by this team. Let's check out the last poll real quick before I wrap this up. Sam Howell's overall performance grade. 50% said B. C was second place at 26. 15% said D. I don't know how you think he had a D. 9% said A. I mean, I wouldn't really even give him an A. But for what he's put in, the position he's put in, like I said, down early so many times this season, I can't fault Sam but so much. But he shows me some really good out there. So I appreciate y'all coming through on the stream. Like I said, follow me on X at Josh Taylor FB. Subscribe. Follow me on Bleacher Report as well. I'll be back first thing in the morning, 10 a.m. Eastern time. We're going to talk about some losers and winners from this game. Y'all might have to help me pick some winners because the only one I can really think of is Sam Howell. Maybe Logan Thomas because he had a good night. But outside of that, there's going to be a ton of losers to talk about tomorrow night. So stay tuned. You'll get that notification on your app once again. And I'm Josh Taylor, and I will see y'all tomorrow morning here on Bleacher Report. Peace. Underdog Fantasy is the best place to participate in all of your fantasy contests, whether it's the NFL, MLB, PGA Golf, NBA, even college football. This user-friendly app, you can win up to 20 times your money in a single night. And my favorite part is that when you sign up in your first deposit, you use my promo code JTFB, they will double your first deposit up to $100. Now, how does it work? You pick lower or higher on stat projections that Underdog Fantasy gives you, whether it's passing yards, rebounds, points, you name it. And for each selection, say you want to select 3 people or 4 people, your odds go up based off of how many you select. My favorite feature, however, is Sometimes I want to make 4 selections and I'm not feeling too confident in all of them. I love taking advantage of the pick'em insurance to where if I miss one pick in my contest, I still get paid out on lower odds. So sign up today, download the app, and use my promo code JTFB to get up to $100 in your first deposit.